I want to thank everyone for joining us. We're very excited to talk to you guys today about the upcoming tax credit auction for the year 2026. Obviously, this will be in about a little less than a month, and we would like to, ensure that any of you who are potential applicants or potential bidders, or who represent companies that may be potential applicants and bidders, have as much information as you need to ensure that you are able to go forward. My name is Jonathan Sterneski. I'm the Director of Policy and External Affairs here. But leading you through today's informational session is going to be Tyler Bell, who is our program administrator for this and has been probably a person that I think many of you have already communicated with. But to that end, he is our in-house expert on all of these items, and he'll walk you through it. And then afterwards, we will be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So, when we get to there, right now, I think everyone's mics are frozen. So you can always feel free to drop things in the chat as we go along. But then once we get to the end, we'll unfreeze all the mics so that, anyone can jump in and ask the questions that they have. Because again, our goal is hopefully to see that you all, complete what you're, are able to make sure that you are successfully able to submit any and all applications or bids that you are interested in doing so. And with that, I will turn this over to Tyler.
Great, thank you so much. So I may not be able to see the chat while I'm presenting, but if Jonathan or Emily can flag any questions come in or just address them at the end, and that would be great too. So I want to start by giving a little bit of background of who we are as an agency. So the New Jersey Housing and Mortgage Finance Agency is dedicated to increasing the availability of and accessibility to safe, decent, and affordable housing for families in New Jersey. So this will take a variety of forms. You may have already heard of our down payment assistance program and several other programs that we run, but this is going to be one that's a little bit different for us in the state tax credit auction. So let me tell you a little bit more about that. This program was developed with both tax savings and housing development in mind. The legislation authorizing this program was signed into law last July, and that allows us to auction up to $500 million in total, now through 2030. These credits are a direct dollar-for-dollar reduction in certain state tax liabilities. These are not to be confused with LIHTC credits. Businesses awarded tax credits do not need to be involved in housing or real estate in any way. These credits are really just buy it and apply it. So each year, we will sell up to $100 million in state tax credits. These credits can be applied to corporate business tax or insurance premium tax liabilities. The credits can be used in the year awarded, and any unused credits can be carried forward for up to 7 years. So why are we doing all of this? Simply to support affordable housing. The proceeds from these auctions will fund affordable and workforce housing developments in the long term. So you're probably wondering, wow, this is a really great program. What do I need to do to be prepared for the auction? First thing to know is that the first auction of this year will open on April 15th and close on May 15th. We will run at least one auction each year through 2030, and we'll announce dates for future years as those approach. The first thing you'll need before submitting a bid is to obtain a tax clearance certificate from the Division of Taxation. These are valid for several months at a time, which means that you could request one from taxation as early as today through the email on the screen or through the phone number listed on the screen as well. I would also encourage you to bookmark our website, which will have a QR code for later, because we have simply a wealth of information on that website, including, most importantly, the auction portal. All bids will be submitted through this portal. And there's also information about how to submit a bid, the purchase agreement will require, and any other forms listed as well. So, like I said, you're probably wondering how to submit a bid at this point, because this program is so amazing. You just want to jump right into it. The minimum bid is $250,000 in tax credits. That's the face value of the credits, not necessarily the purchase price, because you can bid on these credits for as low as 80 cents on the dollar. And we have $100 million available this year. So let's give an example. If you're bidding for $1 million in tax credits and you bid for a face value of 95 cents per tax credit, you are only paying $950,000. That means that you are going to get a straight tax reduction of $50,000, assuming you have those liabilities. At the time of the bid, we only require a 10% deposit and a $500 fee. Note that the deposit is refundable, but the fee is not. And you will submit a bid through our online portal again. Once, like I said just a moment ago, we require a 10% deposit and a $500 fee. Both of these must be wired to the agency, but we will not accept checks or any other means. We will only accept a wire, and everything must be submitted through our portal otherwise. Once the auction closes at 5 p.m. on May 15th, everything is final and closed. So after the auction closes, how are we going to evaluate the bids? We are going to first see if anybody is unfortunately disqualified, and things that would disqualify a business include submitting a bid at less than 80 cents per dollar, if your business is disbarred in New Jersey, a business participating in certain prohibited activities in Russia, Belarus, or Iran, if your bid is lacking a valid tax clearance certificate, the 10% deposit or fee are not received, or if the bid submission forms are not completed, which I know that nobody here is going to fall into any of those categories because you're attending the webinar now, and so you're going to be an expert on this program. So let me run through an example of, or give more information about how we're going to evaluate the bids. We're first going to look at the bid price. That's going to be the price per dollar that you're bidding for tax credits. That's going to be the first qualifier. If two bidders have that same price, we're going to look at who is bidding for more credits. If both of those are the same, then we're going to look at who is submitting their bid first. So let me walk you through a quick example. In this scenario, a reminder that the bids are due May 15th at 5 p.m. Company A has the highest bidding price, and so they're going to get first priority over the credits available. You'll see that companies B and C both bid 90 cents on the dollar, but company B bid for more money at 900,000 versus 225,000. So they're going to get the second priority. Companies D and E have the same bid price of 85 cents, same bid amount of 6.8 million. However, company D submitted their bid first. We also have a couple examples of invalid submissions. So company F submitting theirs just a couple minutes outside the window. So a reminder, get those bids in early. And company G submitted a bid that was too low. The minimum face value would be $250,000 with a minimum bid amount, if you're bidding 80 cents on the dollar, is $200,000. There's a lot of information all at once. I'm happy to answer questions at the end, but this is a really good illustration of how we're going to be ranking these bids. I do want to keep in mind that once the bids are ranked, we're going to submit them to the Division of Taxation for review. And if any bidders are seeking more credits than are available by the time we get down to their ranking, we may offer a partial award. If taxation disqualifies bidders for any reason, we will return to the list and move down to the next highest ranked bidder. So how do we actually award the tax credits? After taxation has gone through their approvals, we will approve a bidder and notify the successful bidders and provide a conditional award letter and a tax credit purchase agreement. The bidder must sign and return that purchase agreement within 5 business days. The remainder of your bid must also be wired within 5 business days. If you need a sample of that tax purchase agreement now, it's available on our website if you want to start reviewing that if you're interested. And upon receipt of the signed purchase agreement and remaining bid, we will send the final award letter and tax credit certificate to the bidder. And you would just file that certificate with your taxes next filing season. The final award letter and tax credit certificate will only be released upon a signed, upon receipt of a signed purchase agreement and full payment. If the bidder for some reason does not return either of those, they may be barred from future auctions, unfortunately. And after all the tax credit certificates for this auction are released, we will notify and refund any unsuccessful bidders. NJHMFA and taxation will review all of the bids promptly after the close of the auction. However, there are a variety of factors that will impact our review timeline. We are hopeful to have tax credit certificates out by the end of the summer, but we can't make any promises right now. So we do have a small reporting and public transparency requirement. So after the tax credit certificates are released, we will post the names and winning bidders and total face value of tax credits and the bid price to our website. There are some transferability rules concerning these tax credits, but they're primarily in the case where you perhaps purchase too many, which would still likely be difficult to do given that they are they can carry forward for up to 7 years. However, if a tax credit awardee is looking to make a transfer, they must complete a form provided by taxation and submitted to taxation, be reviewed by them and also NJHMFA. The tax credits still have to be at least 80% of the transfer credit amount. 10% of the consideration for that transfer must be given to taxation. And then if the transfer goes through, we will also post that on our website for reporting and public transparency requirements. So I'm going to pause the presentation for a moment and show you our website and auction portal. So this is our website. If you just Google NJHMFA auction or use the QR codes I'll show you in just a moment, it'll take you right to here. We have a variety of information available, but I'm going to focus right below the gavel where it says auction portal, currently closed. You click on that link, it will take you to a page like this. It will look something like this when the auction opens. We have the previous auctions information as an example, but everything substantive will be the same for this one, just changing the dates to that April 15th, 9 a.m. opening and May 15th, 5 p.m. closing. We'll have a description about the auction, but more importantly, we'll have all the bid forms. We'll have a question period available, and everything you'll submit is right here. You're going to upload the form. You're going to confirm that you sent the 10% bid deposit, the $500 fee, tax clearance certificate, Iran, Russia, and Belarus disclosure, and any additional attachments you want to provide to us, although that is optional. And we're just interested to know that how you heard about this opportunity. It is a very simple submission, and we even have a step-by-step bid submission demo recorded on our website as well that will walk you through how to complete the forms and how to submit those forms. Let me go back to the presentation and give you a little bit more information about getting to that website. So you can sign up for our emails on the left QR code by either going to that link or scanning the code. We email more frequently closer to the auction about reminders, announcements, and guidance about the auction itself. And then I would also highly encourage you to review our website in advance through that QR code or the link there. Or again, like I said, if you just Google NJHMFA auction, it will take you right to the page as well. I would also encourage you to bookmark that in advance so that when the auction opens, you can go right to our page.